November 2nd, 2004, in a house somewhere in America. Listen up, children, for I shall tell of the daylight ride of the box from hell. In the final year of the last millennium, America took a good hard look at herself. Her republic was functioning as usual, but her democracy had become trapped in a small box of ballots in the basement of a courthouse in Florida. Because a strange series of events had transpired to make election of her president by her people impossible. First, her ruling people had allowed her rule of law to install voting and vote tabulation systems with known error rates, thus making it certain that a small number of her people's votes would go unseen, unknown, and uncounted in every election. Next, 2/3 of her registered voters had split themselves perfectly, so that capacity to choose her new president disappeared into the error rate of this election determination system. Then, her presidential candidates had decided to fight rather than to settle, by one of them stepping aside for her common good. And finally, her candidates' advocates had battled. All this while, leaving in existence a number of undecoded fragments of the people's ruling power, such that the entire force and strength of her people's command regarding which man should be president was imprisoned in a box in the basement of a courthouse in Tallahassee, Florida. The people's voting moments. The people's voting moments, forbidden to continue longer than necessary to determine her people's command, have become stretched out far beyond the amount of time allotted. The rule of law could not hear the people. The people could not change the vote results. America stood shivering in her underwear before her people and the world. She knew not what to do. So America turned in on herself, seeking an answer to the dilemma. First, she looked at one half of herself, her people and their votes. But she could not find the answer there, for she was prevented from seeing what her people's votes actually were. Interference from the rule of law, which, as this story tells, has no business being inside of the people's voting moments, was blinding her eyes. Then she turned to the other half of herself to seek the answer in the rule of law, but therein lay no such answer. For her rule of law is forbidden to enter the sanctity of the people's voting moments, but should become stretched out in time, as described. She shook and shivered, trying to wriggle out of this trouble, but each struggling shrug merely brought the most dangerous box in America closer to the Supreme Court of her people, the United States Supreme Court. Once it arrived, her Supreme Court